It is football season, so we are going to create a flaming football. Hello, my friends, and let's get started. So this is kind of the result that we are ending up with, and we're going to start with a fresh canvas. So let's go up here to File, New, and I'm going to select Full HD. You can select any other size you want. And the first thing we want to create is a black background. So go over here to the rectangle tool, click and drag it over all of the background, and then go up here to the fill color and just set it to a black color. So that was super easy. The next step that we're going to do is to create the ball or select the ball. I have to do a little bit of a workaround because my software, I have a little bit of a problem with my software is crashing on me all the time. So I can show you the steps, but I can't save the file right now. So, with the selection, if you want to make a selection, go to the elliptical tool, and there is kind of a guesswork, and I have a very neat workaround for you for choosing the right size. So use your move tool, and with the rulers visible, click and drag down a guideline and set it to the upper end of the ball, and then make a second guideline and set it to the lower end of the ball. Super easy. Oh, wow, I just moved a little bit. So there we go. And now click on your elliptical mark you tool, click on the upper guideline and then drag. And while dragging, hold your shift key on the keyboard so it makes a circle, a perfect circle, until it touches the lower guideline. We'll even snap to it. And now let go of the mouse, and when you move the mouse inside, you have this little cross with the arrows, which means you can move your selection around. So just move it over, and now you have a selection of the ball in the right size. The next steps that you would do is to just go Edit, Copy, and then go File, New from Clipboard. I cannot do that right now because my program would crash, but you can do that. And afterwards, you just go to Export and save it as a PNG because you want to have it as a transparent background. I prepared that already, so we can close this, and I go to File and Place, and there we have the ball. You can see it here with a transparent background. I can just double click on that and place it into the file. So this was super easy. And we will going to do the same thing again with the second picture. I will open it and show you. Here we have kind of an industrial tower that's burning off some flames, and they look super fancy. So we want to use it for the ball. See, really cool. So what you're going to do is just use your freehand selection tool this time. So click and hold on your selection tool. You get the list, select the freehand selection tool, and just make a selection around the flame like this. There we go. And then again, what you do is go to Edit, Copy, and then you go to File, New from Clipboard, and afterwards you're going to export this as a PNG because of the transparent background. That's pretty important. Again, I can't do that because my software has some problems, so let's close this. Go back to the file and go to File and Place. And there we have it prepared, as you can see. And I can import that and put it behind the ball. And you would say, well, there is all this stuff around it. This doesn't look good. I have a trick, a workaround for that also. Don't worry about that. Let's make it the right size. We can use the zoom tool to zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. There we go, make it the right size for the ball. So it looks nice, and I will put it in the background. It's even faster. There we go. So this is okay. And now to get rid of the stuff that we don't want to have in the picture, we don't use any blend modes today. We're just going to go over here to Blend Ranges and click here on Source Layer, which means all the colors inside of this layer, or the brightness better, the brightness in this layer. So click on the left side and drag it down, and then make a second point anywhere on this line and click and drag it up again. And now you can just move this point back and forth until you have something where you have still the colors but don't see too much of this kind of background here. And if there's a little bit too much in it, like here, there's some residue left over basically from that, it's not 100% perfect, just create a mask layer and drag it onto the layer you created. And for some reason, I don't know why, the mask layer is already reducing. You can see here, you see some of this stuff left. And when I put the mask on it without putting anything in the mask, it's gone. Magic. Well, it works, so this is a nice workaround. And the next thing we're going to do is to place another flame on that. So here we have a flame file, and I will link all these files that I selected in the video description so you can use them to create your own version of that. So let's select this one, and we will put this on top of our ball. There we go. And rotate this a little bit and resize it a little bit so it's on the ball. And we will use again our blend range. It's pretty important. There we go. On the source layer ranges, drag this down, drag the other side up, and you can move this around until you don't have these kind of black outlines anymore around the flames, or until it feels right to you. So it's really also an artistic choice. And you can see now, we can see the flames and we can see the ball in the background, and you can rotate and resize it until you feel it's the right position and it feels good to you. So this is again up to your choice and to what you want to see or what you want to have in your picture. Okay, let's do this again with another flame. Place and select the file. We will use this one on this example, and we were going to rotate that and select our blend ranges. So a lot of this is composition and combining interesting elements into your picture. Again, drag this down for the source layer ranges, make a second point, drag it up, and see where it starts to look good. So this is pretty okay. And I will zoom out a little bit to see what I'm doing a little bit better and resize it. You can see it has a round shape in the start. So let's make this almost fit the ball. And again, we can rotate this a little bit, maybe like this. That's okay. Maybe a little bit more like that. Okay, and now I show you a nice additional trick. Just duplicate it. Where it is, duplicate, and then we go to arrange and flip horizontally. There we go, upside down, and we can drag it out even a bit more. And now we have a second flame without the need to find more material. You can just like that create more stuff that looks like a completely different flame. So that's the nice part about that. And it will look even more like a different flame when we going to start to change the colors of our flames. I think so far we have all the elements in the pictures that we need. And the next thing I'm going to do is to adjust the colors of the flames. And there is two ways you can do it. I will hide the other two flames and just select this one. And you can do it either with recolor, or you can even do it with HSL. I didn't find the results too convincing. I didn't like them too much. So what I would suggest to you is use gradient map. If you have a better solution, I'm really open to hear about it. Write it in the comments if you have something else that you're using that you like to recolor the flames. I really like what gradient map is doing and the kind of possibilities it gives you. So I'm going to set the black, the left one to black, and the right one I'm going to set to white. And then we can adjust the middle, which is our color. And in this instance, I'm going to set it to a kind of bright blue. And when you move this around, you can see that you can have different parts of your flame, either white, black, or blue. So you can give really a different quality to it. And now that we have created this one, we can just duplicate this and put it onto the other layers, and then simply select a different color. So this is a really fast process. There we go, duplicate, pull it up again, and there we go. Now we have all blue flames. Of course, we want to change them a little bit. So let's adjust this one first. Give it a little bit of a different color. And the nice way, I think, to do this is to use the color wheel, because it gives you a better overview of the colors and you can change it more easy. It's more intuitive, I feel like, you know? So what do we want to have? It doesn't have to be completely the same as the starting picture that I showed you, because everything about this is really up to artistic freedom and to your own expression. So this looks really cool. And of course, a lot of being a designer or being an artist is about making your own choices. So let's see. Let's make this other flame visible again. What kind of color do we want to have for that? Maybe a darker blue. Maybe, I don't know, green is kind of too extreme. Maybe kind of like the darker blue. Kind of looks neat. I think it looks good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pink one and drag it below so it's in the background. And then I'm going up here and adding a little bit of Gaussian blur to it. It's a little bit blurry. There we go. And because it's in the background. And we can even put this behind the ball. Let's see how that looks if we put that behind the ball. Is that a good idea? Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty nice. So let's keep that. And now we're going to work a little bit on the ball to make it look cooler, because right now it's kind of meh, not that interesting. So what I want to do next is to create a selection of what we have seen here so far. I'm going to save this real quick so we cannot lose that. Soccer live, because it's live in the video. There we go. Okay, the saving works. That's good. And now I'm just clicking on my ball. Hold Control and click the ball so you make a selection of the ball. And then I'm going to hide the ball and hide everything other than the flames. And I'm clicking up here on Document and then on Transparent Background. So I have just the flame stuff that's going on here. And I'm going to copy flattened, so it has all the layers that are visible right now. That's why I disabled the other layers. And then I'm going to paste that. There we go. I don't know if paste is the right pronunciation of that word, but anyways. And now we can re-enable the other layers. And we have a duplicate of just the stuff that's going on inside of the ball. And I'm going to blur that. So it gives me more of a color effect on the stuff. You can see it's going on inside of here. And I can set the blend mode to, let's see, what is a good one? Let's set it to add, because I want to have a little bit of light effect on that, you know. This is the reason why I'm doing this. I'm going to make, I'm going to use an adjustment layer curves on the ball. There we go. Let's just drag this on the ball and then reduce the brightness a little bit. Maybe also in the brighter areas. There we go. Like this. Okay. And the next thing we are going to do, oh, I forgot one thing that's also nice. Click again on the layer that we created from the selection where we blurred it a little bit with the effect, layer effect. And I'm going to go up here and go to blur and motion blur, because the ball is moving. And you can see here, you can select how strong the blur is. And you can even select the rotation that you have. And you can see down here when I click and drag this, it's kind of jumping. You can enter a number, of course, but it's kind of jumping if I move the mouse around. If you want a smoother selection, what you can do is hold your Shift key and then drag your mouse, and you can see you can go by single degree. So that's pretty nice. And I think this rotation is basically following the line that we have here. And I will set it up like this. Okay, let's play around again with the blend mode, because I'm not really happy with the result that I have right now. I think screen is better, so I'm gonna set this to screen. Okay, and now what I want to do is to create some kind of lines, digital looking lines in here, neon kind of looking lines, so this gets more of an active look. So I'm going to create a pixel layer. So add pixel layer, click it down here, and it should be on top of the ball, of course. And I will zoom in a little bit and use my brush. And I'm going to just use a normal round brush, and the size should be kind of thin, not too thick, because we are going to add some glow effects to that. So this is kind of, you see, this kind of size is a good size to put it on here. And because these are kind of straight lines, let's select the color first. 1 second, I will select a bright blue that we can color pick from here. There we go. So you have this color picker, you just click it and drag it onto your picture and select a color with that, and then click again on the color that's selected to make it active. Okay, and now what you're going to do is select one of these corners here and click once, and then hold your shift key and click again, and then click again and click again onto all the corners. And you can see it makes straight lines. And I think I will restart that because I don't like the color. Let's delete this real quick and select a brighter color. I'm not really happy with that. Let's go like this. That looks okay. Good. Okay, let's do this again. So click in the corner and then hold your shift key and then click and click and click as often as you need, and it will always create a straight line. Then let go of your shift key and click on another corner, and then click the shift key again, hold it and click again. You can see very quickly you can select all of these lines. And of course I know that we are creating straight lines while on the ball they are kind of curved, so it's not 100% correct, but believe me, nobody's going to see that. So that doesn't matter too much. Don't worry about that. And it's a very easy and fast way to do this, as you can see. And we just need to do this, of course, in the areas where it is visible to us anyways. There we go. We are almost done. Really nice. Let's make some lines here too, like this, and down here, up here. There we go, and I think this is pretty much what we need. So we are pretty much done with that. This is not too good here. Yeah, this is okay. Oh, there's one more line. And now we are just going to apply some nice light effects. So let's zoom out again and go to our layer effects. So it's the next thing we're going to do, layer effects. And we are going to create an outer glow. Let's see, that looks pretty nice. Make a nice blue color. It's a little bit brighter maybe than the original color, or different. You can really see, does it look good, does it not look good. Then we're going to create an inner glow, and we are going to click on the little wrench here to set it to center, and then select the radius. You can see this gives a really nice glow effect on the inside. And let's see from the intensity. Strangely enough, if you push up the intensity, it's getting less intense, but we can see a point where it looks good to us. So this is pretty okay. Maybe see with the outer glow, should we make it bigger? No, I think that's pretty good. Okay, I think that's basically it. We could apply maybe a little bit of blur. Let's see if this would look good. Nah, I actually like it without the blur. So there we go. So this is basically the picture. We can still adjust the colors if we want to, but this is how you create that design of a flaming ball with a little bit of cyber lights inside, a little bit of Tron effect. So this is very nice. Thank you very much for watching the tutorial. If you like my tutorials, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you want to support me even more, head over to Patreon, where you can download the original file with all the layers and get other support like feedback from me. You can post your pictures, you can chat with me about topics that are interesting to you. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Bye.